What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're back at another NHL team, an NHL, we are doing, NHL video here on the main channel. If you guys like these kind of videos, I'm going to leave a like, subscribe, the notification bell, hit me up on Snapchat and my socials in my bio. So let's get into this. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to be making a video. This video, we are going to be talking about all of the teams that I think we kind of are starting. I'm going to be starting to make videos over the next couple weeks, starting tonight, on the main channel, talking about teams that I think are going to be sellers, or who I think that are going to be buyers at the deadline, and I'm going to explain why here. But yeah, so let's get into this game. Starting in the West, obviously the St. Louis Blues are going to be big-time sellers. At the time of recording here, they're 28-9. They have 49 points. They just haven't had the best season of all along. I believe they've had a lot of injuries. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of the Blues lately. They're just not doing that great. But yeah, so also another team that I think could be a seller is the Winnipeg Jets. Let me look at getting back to the St. Louis Blues here. Obviously I know that the St. Louis Blues, they're talking about moving guys like probably Jordan Bennington. I know he was there when they won the Cup in 2018? 2018, no. When did the Blues win the Stanley Cup? 2019, yeah. In 2019. And then they also have Joel Hofer there. But they're talking about moving some guys like, Matthew Kessel. Is he related to... No, he's not. Okay. Longtime Phil Kessel. Obviously they have a lot of young guys. Jonathan whatever. Now, obviously, I don't know how old this guy is. Yeah, he might be. They're probably gonna move guys like Robbie Fabry. Has to be old. He has to be like 40 something, not even 40. Probably Matthew Joseph might have to make Jordan Kyrou, and obviously they have Oscar Sundqvist, former Penguin. How's he been? A lot of guys like, he was with Pittsburgh for 2 years. He was with them when they won the Cup. 14 points in 43 games. He's not been great, but okay. They're probably going to move guys like Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou. I've heard they'll probably move guys like Jordan Bennington. But yeah, that's kind of like they're kind of like, you're going to start rebuilding and hoping for the future and build for the future at the deadline. Here, probably once the roster's on freeze next Sunday. Also, another team that I can confirm that will be a big-time seller is going to be the Vancouver Canucks. Now, obviously, I'm just skipping around here a little bit. Actually, no, we'll talk about the Winnipeg Jets here in a minute. Now, another team who I think will be big-time sellers will be the Winnipeg Jets. Obviously, I know they haven't had the best season. They've won the President's Trophy last year. It's a President's Trophy curse is what they've been on. They're 22, 26, and 8, 52 points at the time of recording this video. Now, I don't know who's going to be on the move for them. Now, I don't know if they're going to trade. I don't know if the Winnipeg Jets, I haven't heard anything about him. Not Connor Hellebuck. Mark Scheifele. It hasn't worked well in Winnipeg for a lot of the guys. Highly unlikely to trade based on send them to 2030. Okay. Now, okay, so he's probably not on the move. Now, I haven't seen that roster, Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, another team, like I said, they're not a team. But Jonathan Taves could be on the move. Connor Hellebuck, I don't know if they would trade him. I think they will keep him probably. Oh my God. How old is Gustav Nyquist? He's old, isn't he? He's 43. 36. He's old, okay. He'll be 37. Yeah, I would trade him. Hayden Fleury. I mean, this is... I don't know if they would trade... Connor Hellebuck. He's not a trade candidate. That's fine. And they also have Eric Comrie. Okay. Overall, this team is pretty decent. I mean, I don't know if they can come back from that. They had a 12-game losing streak, they had a big losing streak. Obviously, I know they're going to be big-time sellers at the deadline. I don't know who they'll trade off. Probably, I don't know what they'll do. Another team who I think could be sellers at the deadline is probably going to be the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, they're 22, 26, and 9, 53 points at the time of recording here. Now, obviously, they are still in kind of like that rebuild mode. I have a good feeling that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Let me look at the Chicago Blackhawks here. Their roster, because obviously they're not trading Bedard, they're not trading Frank Nazar, they're not going to trade Bertuzzi or Burakovsky, Dickinson, Colton Dock, they might trade Nick Foligno. There's potential that Holidays bird. There is rumors that Nick Foligno could go back to the Blue Jackets. Matt Grzelcyk could be on the move. Spencer Knight or Arvid Soderblom, I think, stay. There might be there's rumors that Connor Murphy's on the move. Wyatt Kaiser might stay. Obviously, a lot of these guys are going to stay. I don't know if Ilya Mikheyev is going to go. Would get traded, obviously, but who knows? Obviously, they're kind of like rebuilding, but they're going to be getting there here in Chicago. Like I said, I can see light at the end of the tunnel with the Blackhawks. Now, okay, I'm going to save them for another video. For my other video tomorrow or the next night. Now, jumping over to the Pacific here, a team that I know that will be sellers at the deadline are the Vancouver Canucks. Now, I don't know if they'll trade off. Let me look at that roster. They are, like I said, they're 18, 33, and 6. 42 points at the time of recording. There's another team, and there's 2 teams ahead of them I want to talk about here in this sellers video. Then I'll get into the East. Now, I don't know if they'll trade. Now, obviously, Teddy Bluter might go. Jake DeBrusk is probably going to get traded. Connor Garland's probably going to get traded. I mean, let me see. Evander. Now, I won't know. I don't know if Evander Kane. That contract might be a pain in the ass to move. So, I don't know if he stays. It might just be painful. Yeah, they might be... Yeah, his contract is 5.1 mil to fin... Okay, if the... 20 mil... Can I buy out his contract like an idiot? No, I'm not going to buy out his contract. I can't. But yeah, who knows? Drew O'Connor might be traded. Not Elias Pettersson. Marcus Pettersson. They have 2 Elias Petterssons. What the frick? That's weird. There might be some guys there that obviously get moved. Drew O'Connor, probably. Philip Ronick, probably. Actually, maybe not. Marcus Pettersson. I think they could wait until the summertime to do it, but Thatcher Demko could be on the move this summer. That would be a huge blockbuster trade. Now, I don't know where he would go, but that's like it on them. And then another team that is going to be definitely on the move this offseason, at the deadline, is going to be another team that's going to be big time sellers, a team that's on the move. No, I didn't mean to say it like that. Another team that's going to be on the definitely the side of selling is the Calgary Flames. Now, they're currently, at the time of recording this video, they are 23, 27, and 6. They're 52 points. Obviously, again, they're in a rebuild phase. They're probably going to trade guys like Nazem Kadri. I've heard either Toronto, he wants to go back to Toronto. Let me see if I can, Nazem Kadri. See if I can find trade rumors to what teams. I've heard there was, no I didn't. Minnesota, potentially. Okay, Colorado, he could go back to. He's very, very familiar with Colorado. A reunion could be there. He's a part of the 2022 Cup run. Pittsburgh, really? Montreal, I wouldn't. Okay. Dallas, Carolina, and Utah, also Pittsburgh. LA. Now, I don't know. Is he a center? Is he a centerman? I don't know. Now, obviously, maybe even Detroit. But who knows? We'll see where the Wild, I kind of like the fact that Nazem Kadri would go back to either ECD to Nazem Kadri. I can't spell. Colorado. Toronto, he was drafted there in 2009. Colorado, Pittsburgh. Nazem Kadri trade rumors to what teams? I kind of like the fact of him going back to Colorado. He's very familiar with that team. Now, it might work well there. Minnesota, Montreal, Pittsburgh, maybe. I don't know. But I know Nazem Kadri is very well. His trade market is heating up. And then, but that's the only guy I can think of. Maybe, I don't know if Jonathan Hubert. I don't know if they would move Jonathan Huberdeau. I don't know if they would move Dustin. This team is very much in a rebuild. Mackenzie Weegar, I've heard, I don't know where he would go. Mackenzie Weegar. Trade rumors. I don't know if there would be to what team. Now, link to Ottawa, Detroit, and Pittsburgh. Okay. Now, another guy who I know I've heard rumors for is defenseman number 52, Mackenzie Weegar. Now, Mackenzie Weegar, on the other hand, he is interesting because I don't know if the Penguins, the Red Wings, and the Senators. Now, if I'm the Calgary Flames, if I'm like the owner or owner of the Calgary Flames. Now, if I'm the owner of the Calgary Flames, Calgary Sports and Entertainment, Craig Conroy. Okay. I'm not Craig Conroy. Maybe I'm like Calgary Sports, and I look at teams. Now, a team who I think could go very much well after Mackenzie Weegar is the Ottawa Senators. Now, he is from Ottawa, Now, obviously, like I said, he's from Ottawa. But yeah, February 12th. This is, what day was this? Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday. Thursday. Kenzie Weeder could be a possibility. I've also heard Mackenzie Weeder for Pittsburgh. But yeah. But I feel like he would go to Ottawa and fit well in Ottawa. But yeah, that's about it on them. Now, another team who I think will definitely be talked about here in a minute right now when we get their roster up, is, of course, they're going to be sellers, that big-time sellers, and they're 27, 24, and 4, 58 point, 27, 24, and 4, 58 points at the time of recording here is the San Jose Sharks. Now, the San Jose Sharks are probably very much out of the picture here for the playoffs. Oh, yeah. They're 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. 5 points out of the last wildcard spot. Now, I don't think they'd sneak in, unfortunately. Sorry, Sharks fans. I think they wait at least. When will the Sharks be good again? 26. Now, next year, 26, 27, so next year, and then maybe, or if not next year, 27, 28, for sure they'll be good. I'm hoping they'll be good next year. I can see them being good in 2026, 2027, next year, making the playoffs. I don't think they would go far, though, but we'll see. But yeah, like I said, I can see the Sharks being sellers this year. Being sellers deadline here. Obviously, now I don't know what guys they will move. I have their roster right up here. Obviously, Macklin Celebrini is untouchable, untradeable. Ty Dellandrea is untouchable. William Eklund, a guy Barclay Goodrow is probably untouchable. Khrushchev Mesa, Ryan Reeves, Kiefer Sherwood, Jeff Skinner's probably like Vincent Descharnay, Yaroslav Askarov and Alex Nedeljkovic are probably untouchable. The one guy, I don't know, Mario Ferraro, defenseman for the Sharks. Mario Ferraro is definitely not untouchable, but the one guy that I think they could move at the deadline is the Mario Ferraro. Now, he's linked to the Avs, the Red Wings, the Penguins. Now, they're saying the New York Rangers, but maybe even the New York Rangers. But yeah, so they're not making the playoffs. No. Whatever, I'll talk about them in a second. Anyways, yeah, but that's a bit about I can't talk. That's about it on those teams. I'll save the rest. I don't know if they would. I think they'll be buyers, but they just gotta start winning games. Now, jumping up to the East, a team who I definitely know will be sellers at the deadline is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, obviously, there's a lot of rumors. Again, let me pull up their roster. Let me see if Austin Matthews is any trade. This might sound like a wild trade rumors now. I don't know if they would trade him now or if in the summer. I wouldn't, or no matter, wow. Pundits expecting that move to the Kings or the Sharks until 2028, and lasts until the contract expires. And I wouldn't trade him at all. No. No, I wouldn't trade him. I was just reading to see if Austin Matthews was gonna be traded at all. I haven't heard anything about him, so probably not. Bobby McCann might be moved. John Tavares, I think, might stay. Stallers they might actually move Stallers. I was only looking at Mateus Michelli might be traded. There might be some guys here that are traded, but who knows? We'll see what the Leafs do. Another team. How far are they out of the playoffs? Are they close to a wild card spot? If they are out of it, then okay, yes. They are 9 points, 8 or 9 points, 8 points out of the last wild card. 8 points out of the last wild card spot. Yeah, I'll throw them in the video. Yeah, okay. So another team who I know they are going to be big time sellers here is the Florida Panthers, surprisingly. Now, obviously, this team, they've won back-to-back cups, which is not hard, which is not easy, not hard. Yes, it's not an easy thing to do here. Now, I don't know what they'll do. I don't think they'll do anything. I think they'll stay the way they are unless they want to move guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it on them. Another team, do I want to throw them in the video? Let me see where they are in the standings. Alright, yes. Another team I can throw. They're 6 points out of the last wildcard spot. Okay, I'll throw them in. The last team I'm going to throw in here, obviously, is the Ottawa Senators. Why did I just say that like that? I don't know. But obviously, again, I don't know who they would move, but they'll definitely be big-time sellers. Alright, the next couple teams, I'm going to go to the Metro. This will be the last part of the video here, the last division in the video here tonight. Obviously, the teams that I didn't talk. So, all the teams I didn't talk about tonight, like Tampa, Montreal, Detroit, Buffalo, Boston, Carolina, Pittsburgh, the Islanders, the Blue Jackets, Capitals. Actually, maybe Blue Jackets down. Obviously, Carolina, Pittsburgh, New York, the Islanders, Avs, Wild, Dallas, Utah, Nashville, Vegas, Edmonton, Seattle, Anaheim, LA will probably all be buyers. So that'll be in. I'm gonna put them all in the buying team thing, in the buyers video tomorrow or Tuesday. Obviously, the team I was talking about here. Obviously, I'm gonna go back to the Metro here is the New York Rangers. Now, we know they're going to trade off a lot of guys. They're... Sorry, my mom's weird. We know that, like, a lot of guys here... Oh, my dear Jesus. I don't want that. Obviously, we know, like, JT Miller's going to be gone to deadline. Connor Sheary's going to be gone to deadline. Mika Zibanejad definitely will be gone to deadline. Vincent Trocheck will be gone to deadline. Braden Schneider will be gone to deadline. He is only 24. He'll be 25. Igor Shesterkin. I think what they'll do, I think what the Rangers are doing now, obviously, like, the New York Rangers, letter. Their guy, Chris Drury, released a letter to the fans, which I think is the most stupidest thing ever. This is stupid. This is absolutely bogus. This is, my God. This is horrible, but I'm going to read it to you here in a minute. Obviously, they'll probably keep a lot of their guys, that are a lot of the young guys. Like, I think Alexis Lafreniere stays, Gabe Perreault stays, Taylor Radish stays, Matt Rempe unfortunately stays. The dude is that dirty son of a gun hockey player. I hate him so much. Will Borton, Adam Fox, I think. I think these two might be gone. Gavrikov might stay. He might be gone. Oreo might stay. Morrow might stay. Robertson, Urho, Vakinen could be gone. I don't know. They'll just trade off a lot of guys. I know the one guy that they could stay that is definitely they're going to build around. And if they don't build around him, I'm going to scream. Is Igor Shesterkin. They need to build around. Wait. New York Rangers. Who are the... If they build around New York Rangers building around the elite and defenseman Adam Fox. Okay, so they're keeping Adam Fox. They're gonna keep Brennan Othman, Will Coyley, Brad Berard, Gabe Perreault. They're kind of like strict rebuild here. They'll keep so they're building around Adam Fox and Igor Shesterkin. Good. But obviously this is kind of funny. There was a letter written to the, let me take this off while I'm doing my recording. I'll put it back on later. But obviously the sleeves are just a pain. They're bothering me right now. But yeah, obviously, But the New York Rangers released a letter to the fans. It was from Chris Drury. Now, I don't know what Chris Drury's job is. Chris Drury. He's the president and general manager of the New York Rangers. Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't know, like I said. He said, we want to take a moment to connect with our loyal and passionate fan base. We know and feel your disappointment with how the season has gone to this point. We are just as frustrated and want nothing more than to deliver an on-ice product you can be proud of. It's what drives us every day. No one in the organization is happy with what has transpired from management to coaches to players over the last few years. We've had some successes and moments to cherish, but ultimately it was not the end goal. Correct. We are working relentlessly every day to bring the Stanley Cup back to New York because that is what our fans deserve, obviously, and the Madison Square Garden. With our position in the standings and injuries to key players this season, we must be honest and realistic about our situation. We are not going to stand pat. A shift will give us the ability to be smart and opportunistic as we retool the team. Correct. This will not be a rebuild, obviously. This will be a retool built around our core players and prospects. Obviously, in Igor Shesterkin, the core player. We will target players that bring tenacity, skill, speed, and a winning pedigree with the focus on obtaining young players' draft picks and cap space to allow us flexibility moving forward. That may mean saying goodbye to players that have brought us and our fans great moments over the years. These players represented the Rangers with pride and class and will always be a part of our family. As we start on this new strategic plan, we will continue to play hard with pride and passion for our fans. We appreciate your unwavering support for your Rangers more than we can describe, and thank you all for that you do for our organization. You will begin to see some of our plans come to light in the coming weeks and months. LGR. Let's go Rangers, yes. Obviously, that means they are rebuilding. Yes, they are. He said it perfectly. They are rebuilding. I actually kind of liked how he wrote that letter to the fans, the GM, the president, and the GM of the New York Rangers. He wrote that. But obviously, they're 22, 29, and 6. They're at 50 points. They've been sucking this whole year. But yeah, they are rebuilding for a good reason. Not because they suck, it's because they need to retool / rebuild. And then another team who I think they're probably going to start rebuilding and or retooling, or they just get crappier. Why are the New Jersey Devils so bad? Yeah. A lot of injuries on them. Are they going to be rebuilding? Missing key players like, oh, yeah, okay, there's a lot of falling to generate a shouting key, lifeless atmosphere, bad money tied up. What's so bad? Yeah, I had, what the hell? Yeah, I'm actually gonna play that. I love how that video is called, What the Hell Happened to the New Jersey Devils? Exactly. I don't know what they'll do to deadline, but then another team who I definitely know will be selling off pieces. They always sell off pieces. They're 25, 20, and 11, 61 points is the Philadelphia Flyers. They're probably going to move off more pieces than we can imagine. They're in a never-ending rebuild here. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. On all of our teams that are selling mode. But yeah. If you guys like these kind of videos, remember, leave a like, subscribe, with a notification. This is only a good 10-minute video.
The NHL's next dynasty. Now,
if you guys like these kind of videos, remember, leave a like, subscribe, with a notification. Hit me up on Snapchat, Edmund Stewart, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.